G'day Celery. G'day Jokani Babe. What's happening, friends? Indeed. G'day Pixel Cruncher. G'day Captain Carp. I did finish the Wind Rider. I'll pull him out later on. We'll have a bit of a look. But yeah, pretty chuffed actually with how he came out. So, bully for me. But today we're starting on a new project, a Blood Bowl team. Blood Bowl team. Pixel Cruncher, you amazing guy, what's happening? Or girl. Never know. That's okay. We're all friends. So, what we're going to experiment with today is what my painting technique looks like when I'm trying to go fast. Morning, Voodoo. Ah, Paul, you superstar. What's happening? Oh, this guy's got a fucking tentacle for a hand. That's pretty legit. So we are going to basically demonstrate, when I say we, I of course mean just me, because none of you are painting at all. We're going to demonstrate my process for doing speed. G'day Topulus. Speed painting. So we're going to try and finish these 6 dudes for tonight in 3 hours. Let's see how we go. These actually are a commission. I've said in the past I don't do a lot of commissions for gaming models, but this one, there's 2 reasons I decided to do it. One, I painted a Nurgle army a few years ago, and the person who bought it wanted a Blood Bowl team. And the second reason is Nurgle models are actually probably my favourite models that Games Workshop has released recently anyway. And this is exciting to be able to paint some of these cool models. So yeah. So we're gonna use some tricks. Someone knows anything about Games Workshop, just explain to me, are these guys rotters? Rotters? Topulus, I'm not much of a Games Workshop follower these days, mate. I haven't really been into Games Workshop games for quite a few years. I keep abreast of the models that they make generally, but that's about it. So, thanks Billy Goat. Yeah, I'll show everyone what the finished model looks like soon. Sitting up there, hiding. Ooh, that looks gross. Believe it or not, we're not going to do too much more airbrushing. A little bit more at the end, but most of the rest will be brush work. I played AOS about 2 years ago. Painted an Nurgle army and some Iron Jaws and stuff. Had a pretty good time. But my background is like very competitive games, and there's quite a few aspects of the Games Workshop game that I felt were not as balanced as some of the other games I've played. So I haven't continued playing. All right. So that was stage 1, just some rough tones with the airbrush. Stage 2 now is, and again I'm replicating a paint scheme that I did on an army already, so I sort of have a pretty good grounding on what said army looked like. So, where the fuck is my special green? Special green. Special green. There you are, special green. That one is a HPCS Iwata Eclipse, and this one is a HP B+. This is my sort of workhorse brush that's the really fine detailed one. Just a bit of red in there. Rightio, I'll fix that now, friends. Stand by. Activate! I'm pretty good at fixing it when it freezes now, but I still can't ascertain why it does that. So that's a problem. That's a problem for another day. Today's a day for painting. So what I'm doing with these three colours that I have over here is I'm mixing them with a... G'day Stu Flynn! I'm mixing them with a... how about I zoom in so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Mixing them with one of my Magic Mix Magic. And then because the Magic Mix is a drying retardant, it extends the drying time, and so I'm putting them on the model and then using a moist brush with a little bit of water to blub them all around. And that is indeed the technical term. So with Nurgle, oh beautiful Stu. Wish I could listen to a stream at work, that'd be great. With Nurgle I find lots of interesting colours in the skin is what I want to do. And by mixing them on the model you get both the colour and also some interesting fused colours which looks cool as well. Now interestingly, I actually painted this Nurgle team before I started using contrast paint, so I'm actually going to mix things up a bit and do some contrast paint on this as well at some points. Haven't really figured out when yet. We'll mix it up. Oh, cheeky work streams, how good. Outstanding. So the next component, the cool thing about using washes, right, is they do a lot of awesome work for you, and using the medium, it helps them settle in a more consistent way. But one of the problems with doing washes is that you sort of want to keep working straight away, and unfortunately washes can take a while to dry, which is why the hairdryer, and you'll have to excuse me for speaking over the hairdryer, I try to avoid it, makes using washes significantly easier. We're ready to go. Hello, Patrick. Alright, how many friendos we got going on? Let's have a look at Windrider, eh? Ooh, I'm excited. Yeah, so I finished this on stream. Pretty pleased with the end result. So here we go. Bit of Windridery goodness. Oh, that's a good close up. Good one, Dino. Zoom out. There we go. So So that's where we ended up with Wind Rider. So we did a few things in the last stream last night that I think helped the overall piece, but the last stages of highlighting really are the thing that ties the piece together, and that it often won't look like it's finished or done until you do those last few highlights. So one fun fact that I did want to show off, not many people do this or know about this, but just here where the model joined the base, there's a bit of a gap. So often when you do sub-assemblies you can get gaps. The way I actually fill those gaps when I've got a painted piece is with PVA glue. So PVA glue dries clear. That's white woodworking glue for those who are in America and don't know what that is. PVA glue. And so by putting the PVA glue in there, it dries clear. It does dry glossy, but it dries clear. And so and it also fills the gap. So you can actually paint over the top of it and then use a little bit of the old AK Interactive Ultra Matte varnish over the top of the paint, and that will completely fill the gap. So it's sometimes tricky to fill gaps when you've done some painting. You don't want to put heaps of putty in and around there and fuck up all the work you've done. So using PVA glue, even if you get a little bit of carryover, it'll dry clear, you can see through it, and then you just matte varnish over the top. So there we go, there is a Wind Rider. Thanks Chaos Kitsune. So all finished. All finished. Pretty good. It is a top tip, Voodoo. It is indeed a top tip. Thank you, Katana. Yes. Many people don't know about the PVA glue tip, and I literally use PVA glue to fill gaps all the time. It is the best shit ever. Alright, so let's zoom back in on these little friendos. Trent's tips. Top tips with Treno. Pro tips. I don't know how many pro painters do it, mate, but I certainly do it. What the fuck is that supposed to be? I don't know, is that the bottom of his helmet? Who knows? It is now. Yes, absolutely, Paul. Water it down, get into small cracks. Very, very good stuff. Yeah, you can use, you're actually better off using gloss varnish than matte varnish. Gloss varnish will actually fill the gaps slightly better. But yeah, PV glue is just a bit cheaper. PVA glue, a bit cheaper. So why not? The only problem with painting these fuckers is, what the shit is all this stuff? There's so much little fucking doobie bits on them. Little things. Oh, thanks Chaos Kitsune, you're amazing. Appreciate that very much. Actually, I was going to ask you a question, friends, and I'm once again showing my noobness at Twitch here. So I recall on YouTube a while back that there was a bit of a furor over doing, I don't know, giveaways or some shit. Maybe it was on some other platform. Instagram, that's right, I think it was Instagram. So you can't do giveaways or raffles or some shit. Is that the case on Twitch? Are you allowed to do raffles? Okay, well that's probably a good sign. Broadly speaking, loophole, what are those limitations? OnlyFans it is. I'll pop the link to my OnlyFans up here very shortly, friends. I shan't be doing that. Ah, Big Wacko. Second biggest miniature painter on here, pal. Welcome. So yeah, I'm just sort of, who cares, Wacko mate, doesn't matter. But no doubt it's you. Yeah, I might ask Flick, that's a good idea. That guy knows everything about Twitch. Yeah, it'd just be cool to do something for friends who watch the stream. Do a giveaway of a model. I paint enough of the fuckers, so. Oh fuck, this guy's crazy. I feel like this dude's an old model or something. I wonder what the fuck he is. wearing a fucking crazy mask. Thanks, mate. I doubt that's the case. Ah, Big Wacko's come in with a monster raid. The big man. Thank you. Welcome, friends. We're painting some painting some Blood Bowl figures today, friends. Chicken Queen 2. I dig it. I'm in Brisbane, my friend. Beautiful Brisbane. The Lions. Brisbane Lions. No, bad luck for you, mate, if you live in New South Wales. That's unfortunate for you, mate. Queensland supporter over here, champ. Okay, cool. Cool loophole. That's good. Big rate energy. So yeah, is it the type of thing where you go, cool, if you're a subscriber, you get your name in a hat for a fucking painted model or something? Is that the go? It is a Nurgle Blood Bowl team, mate. Well spotted. Not for me, for a little commission. Yeah, I don't play a lot of games, computer games, right? But pretty much all the ones I play are board game ports. So like my Steam account has Spirit Island, Through the Ages, Wingspan, and I do indeed have Blood Bowl. We played a mad campaign league last year. I'm a dwarf player. Fucking love dwarves. Fucking dwarves in Blood Bowl. Block and tackle on every motherfucker. Oh, Celery, do not get me started on Through the Ages. Do not get me started on that game. It is probably... So I've downloaded that game on my phone about 3 years ago, and I have played excuse me, I've played at least one game of Through the Ages every day since the day I downloaded it, and in many cases it has been 5, 6 or 7 games. It is just unfucking believable. There may have been a period where I stopped playing it actually, and then they released the expansion. It's the best. It's the fucking best game, I tell you what. Yeah, if there's two I could recommend, it would be Spirit Island and Through the Ages. The Through the Ages, the AI, so the AI will actually smoke the fuck out of you the first time you play it. Like, I played against the basic AI and I got smashed. And then after a couple of games you pick up a few bits and pieces, and yeah. But there's 3 levels of AI. It's awesome. Awesome game. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Sorry in advance, friends. Squats for the tickets. That's a novel one. There is Off-White. The club can't even handle me right now. Just looking for some specific colours, friends. This is very exciting. Oh, Sharkwild. Oh shit, I forgot to do you today, mate. Got to make you a VIP as well, pal. Let me explain that. Chum Dabs, the dickhead, sent me a video. Remember how on Saturday's stream I kept singing that, dancing that song? Well, Chum Dab sent me a video of a guy doing like a port of that, and I sent him in return, without even talking to him, this video here. I'm just going to post it in the chat. So the reason I sounded funny is because I was singing like that. Yeah. Just good luck to him, mate. Good luck to him. Get yourself out there, kid. Have a go. Have a go at life. What a legend. He is 100% legitimately serious, eh? He's just giving it his best. Giving it his absolute best. So we're going to do lots of tricks on these boys. So I'm going to show you some tricks, how we do things quickly. And the cool thing about painting Nurgle is you can just have mistakes all over and it looks mad. Oh, g'day Chroma. Indeed, some blood bowlers. I don't know what this guy is. Is he supposed to be a thrower or something? I didn't think Nurgle had throwers. A limited understanding of Blood Bowl says they have Beasts of Nurgle, Beastmen, Rotters, and that's all I know. There's big fat guys as well. Please do, Celery. Can't wait, mate. Ah, yeah, that's right. They changed all the way skills and stuff work, didn't they? That's cool. We used to have a lot of fun with Blood Bowl. As it was. Art of War painting. Hello, mate. It is pretty much like that, mate. That is pretty much exactly the game of Blood Bowl. Fantastic. Fantastic gift. My girlfriend said I'm getting you a copy of Through the Ages, even though I've already had it and played it non-stop. And she hates that fact because when we were overseas, anytime we had a break, we were just sitting down, I'd fucking play that game. Ah, fellow Queenslander indeed. So we're just doing some speed painting tonight, friends. Gonna try and paint some Nurgle dudes and finish these guys very, very quickly. That's the plan. We'll see how we go. This is not my conversions, by the way. That's dog shit. Whoever did this, person who commissioned me, absolutely shit ass efforts there. So the interesting thing about this scheme, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna go, I have no idea what the fuck is happening until like the last few stages. That's when it all starts to come together. So just stick with me, friends. It'll probably improve. Surprise, surprise. No, I'm actually not winging on this. I've done this colour scheme before. This is not a full winging it like I did on the Wind Rider. The Wing Rider. Nah, that was a stretch. Oh, Gallo Fire. G'day, champion. What an amazing, amazing day it is. To have all of you great people join me on this stream. I'm going to show off Wind Rider several times tonight, friends, so get excited. It's all finished. get excited. Now I'll just talk a little bit about Guild Ball because you may not know this, friends, but I was actually the Australian champion of Guild Ball. I flew overseas to compete in SteamCon for Guild Ball because I was the best at Guild Ball in Australia. So and I'm quite close to the guys at Steamforged. A lot of them are very nice people, very good friends. But yeah, they fucking totally balls that up. They absolutely balls everything up about a number of things, and it all comes back to Dark Souls. So, and again, none of this is information that's come directly from Steamforged. This is all information that I've gathered secondhand through various sources, various people who interviewed about about Dark Souls. But to summarise a very, very, very long story into a short story, Dark Souls was wildly successful, more so than they expected by a huge margin, which is a good thing. But they did all their calculations for the game, for the cost of the game and all that sort of stuff, like I'm sure every Kickstarter manufacturer does, and they fucked up the box dimensions. So they quoted all of their shipping costs, all of their stuff based on box dimensions, and then when they ended up with 40,000 backers, and they found out that the size of the box that they had planned was about an inch too small, or however small it was, I'm not sure of the specifics. It had this massive ripple effect of cost. So instead of one pallet containing 30 copies of Dark Souls, it instead contains 24. And so, given that each container on a boat can only contain a certain number of pallets, and each number of pallets now contains 6 less, when you're talking about the quantities that they're talking about, they basically went from profitable to making zero money in a matter of heartbeats, because someone measured the box size incorrectly. And they were basically going out of business. They had, and a lot of the delays from Dark Souls, again, this is not first-hand information. This is from some interviews I listened to about it. They were basically going bankrupt, and everyone talks about the huge delays from that game. The reason there was huge delays is they just didn't have money to make the models. They couldn't afford to pay people to make the models. And the thing that got them out of the game was Guild Ball. They actually never intended for Guild Ball to go forever. They always had plans for Guild Ball to be a abbreviated story game, sort of where the story of the game was what drove it, and then it would stop. It would reach a point where it stopped. But I think they had to basically reevaluate all of their plans because they needed to make money. They had some private investment as well, as I understand, but Guild Ball's what pulled them out of the Dark Souls pit, and they got absolutely harangued from all corners for Dark Souls. But it was a situation where they were damned if they did and damned if they didn't, right? If they decided not to pay or not to make the game and just declare bankruptcy as a business, then they're fucked. If they decide to tell everyone, look guys, I don't think we're going to be able to do this because we just don't have enough money, then they're fucked. So what they did was they kept quiet, went about trying to make the money up so they could fulfill for all the backers, and in the end, they got there and everyone got the game. So it's one of those situations where it didn't matter how they approached it, and I think, they can't win now because every game they produce, you have about 400 people that are upset about Dark Souls come in and go, don't back these girls, fuck Dark Souls. But actually, I mean, when you look at it from a business perspective, I think they made the only decision they could, and they got everyone their product. So really, they did a pretty amazing job. But unfortunately, they'd done their dash, and so I think what ended up happening with Guild Ball is they reached a point where they wanted to focus, they wanted to move their business model over to making board games. And Guild Ball, as much as they tried to market as a board game with that kickoff box, it was never really a board game. And so, yeah, they just sort of found themselves in a bit of a bind where they didn't want to. They didn't really want to keep going with Guild Ball. They wanted to focus on their other business stuff, and so Guild Ball got left by the wayside. But it was really interesting to see the community reaction to Guild Ball, because they got fucked for that too. And again, I don't know if there's a way to stop a game that many people like and are passionate about in a way that doesn't upset people. I think probably the lesson from it is, if you are going to stop producing a game, be upfront about that at the start. But then it's sort of hard then as well, because then you're potentially hamstringing your future business models. If people go, oh well, if it's just going to get stopped, I don't want to buy it then. So it's just, yeah. I always felt like, so if I was, because I've as a few people on here would know, I was involved in some games design stuff for a while. I've always felt like when I do eventually end up finishing off the game that I'm writing, that it's going to be a game that has a clearly defined endpoint. I'm going to release the game, and if it's a miniature game, which it's not at the moment, what it looks like at the moment, then it'll have a set number of releases that I'll work towards until such time as I then stop making the game, start putting energy into a new game and a new design. Because I think if you look at case in point, War Machine, another game that I played a lot of, it is nearly impossible for a new player to try and pick up everything there is to know about War Machine and learn it. There is a barrier to entry like no other game in the market for that game. And the problem is it's probably one of the best games out there. But if you're not staying abreast of everything, if you're not dedicating yourself to the game, you will never, ever, ever stay abreast of it all. So I think games, much like TV shows, you have a TV show that is written from start to finish, doesn't try and prolong storylines and make stuff up just to keep things interesting. If you have and I think Stranger Things is probably a good example of, they basically said, yeah, we're going to do 5 seasons. We've got storyline for 5 seasons. They could turn around and make me look like a dickhead and do like 8 seasons of it, but at the moment, everything that's happened in the story feels consistent and awesome. I love Stranger Things, by the way. Fuck, can't wait for the next season. Alright, who wants to see Windrider? Who hasn't seen Windrider? I'm going to show everyone Windrider again. Woo! Shit, nearly took a photo with my camera. Here's Windrider. Look at that. There he is. That's what I painted on stream last couple of weeks, friends. Actually, when did I start it? I'm going to go and have a look. I'm going to go and have a look at when I started Windrider. This was started on the 31st of January. So what's that? 7 days. Yep. Yep. So yeah, I think I did 5 streams on it, maybe 6. So I'm pretty happy with it. Again, I'm trying to get better at freehand, so I think the freehand I did on the cloak is okay. I could definitely feel that I got better as I was doing it. But yeah, still some work to go. Still some work to go on that front. But we'll get there in the end. Don't be jealous, Voodoo. You can do it too, mate. Practice, practice, practice. Oh, yes. X-Platypus wants me to become famous. And so does F New York. Thank you for your offer, friends. Get fucked. I'm a mod. Got mod skills. Yeah, I don't reckon it was quite that long, Celery, because I did a lot of talking throughout my streams. So I timed one the other day. I reckon I'm doing about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 15 worth of painting on a 3-hour stream. So I'm just going to basically count every stream's worth about 2 hours. I'll fucking ban you too, Loophole. You watch yourself, mate. Kung Fu Shrew, Blood Bowl, yeah! I haven't played Blood Bowl for many years. I played on the computer version, but no, I haven't played Blood Bowl for a long time. These are actually commissioned. I'm looking after a dude who bought a Nurgle army from me a few years ago, and I really like the Nurgle models. I think they're awesome. So we're going to do quick painting on these guys, friends. Quick painting. One more word from you, loophole, about me driving a fucking Vespa. Banned. Band hammer. All over you. Fucking hell. Smash you. That is a pretty interesting dream, mate. Oh, bad trip 84. If 84 is your birth year, you and I are born 1 year apart. And I hope that your life is going just as well as mine is at this point in time. You and me both, pal. Oh, Evil Lion, thank you for following, mate. Never crack a rib. Ah, me too, mate. Me too. Actually, a funny thing happened to me on the weekend. I was at the dog park with my little mate Hugo, and he's a fucking legend, right? But he picks fights with big dogs. He's a little Chihuahua cross, fox terrier, dickhead, and he wants to play with everyone. Absolute fucking idiot. So he picked a fight with this. I don't actually know what sort of dog he was, but he was a cross American Bulldog something. He was a big bopper, and he was only 7 months old, but he was massive. And Hugo was like running up to him, saying, "Yeah, let's play, man, let's fucking go," like trying to bite his face. And this dude's just going, "All right, let's play." And started chasing him. So they're running around the dog park like lunatics. I'm just having a laugh watching them run around. And Hugo suddenly got scared and decided to run back and try to hide under my legs. So he's running straight at me, runs straight through my legs, and this other fucking dog, whose name's Rocky, by the way, Balboa, just runs straight into my leg, clocks me in the knee, and absolutely cleans me up. He was going at full clip and belted me. I went tits up, legs askew everywhere. Poor Rocky's on the other side of the big Deno on the ground, bit dazed, gets up, starts chasing Hugo again. Meanwhile, I feel like I've got a dislocated knee. Fucking hell. My girlfriend could not stop laughing. She was fucking cracking up. The poor owner of Rocky came over. "Oh my god, are you alright?" It's like, "Yeah mate, I'm fine, I'm tough. Rugby league player, former rugby league player, I can take a hit." Hobbling home like an old man. It was very amusing though. Very amusing to watch, I imagine. Good call, Paul. My dad always said it's not about how hard you get hit, it's about when you whether you stand up or not when I was playing rugby league. So I used to get cleaned up. I used to get cut in half because I'm quite tall. Centre of gravity is very, very high, so guys just used to cut me in half regularly. You always get up. Always get up. Yeah, my dad's Rocky Balboa. Actually, I'll tell you. So I started playing rugby league quite late. I think I was like 26 when I played my first game. It's just one of those things I decided I wanted to play. Never played it before. Went to training on a team, and I played some other sports, but never rugby league. And I decided I was going to play. So I went to training, and I was training hard and stuff, and I got my first game, got my call up, and my dad came down to watch. He's standing on the sideline, I'm warming up. I was on the bench to start the game. I'm warming up, feeling good. The coach gives me the nod, just about to go on. My dad comes over to me, he goes, "All right, mate." And my dad played quite a lot. He goes, "Don't run at that number 8, alright? That fucking big Polynesian bloke. Don't run at him." I said, "Oh, why is that, Dad?" He's like, "He's got perfect technique. He's just smashing guys." I said, "Alright, awesome." So anyway, half time came, I didn't actually get on. So we're at the half time break, the coach is giving us a rev up. And then the coach sends me out at the start of the first half. At the start of the second half. So I run out on the field and I'm super chuffed. I'm like, "Yeah, this is awesome. My fucking dad's here watching me play and stuff." And I was playing in the second row. One of our guys made like a half break. So I'm following up, I'm chasing him, I run into dummy half. For those who aren't familiar with rugby league, that's the guy who picks up the ball from the tackle. And I just go for a quick scoot, so I just pick up the ball and run to the side and then like head down, just look up. And so I pick up the ball and I look up, I've just started running and I look up and it's that fucking number 8 Polynesian guy lining me up. And my dad's on the sideline and he just starts laughing, right? Before I even got here, I could hear my dad laughing on the sideline. I was going, so I run full speed at him and get absolutely fucking annihilated. Like, I don't think I've ever been hit that hard in any game since. Got absolutely cut in half. I was on my back before I even knew what had hit me. Whew. And while I'm lying there on the ground, all I can hear is my fucking dad laughing. He's just laughing. He's shouting out, "I fucking told ya! I told ya!" Just laughing his head off. So, there you go. Something that happened in my life. It's very good. Yeah, I played for about 3 seasons, rugby league. Dislocated an AC joint in my shoulder. Came back for another season, broke a wrist. A couple of seasons later. I think for a sport like that, you probably have to start playing young. My body just wasn't used to it. Yeah. Fuck, you got me good, eh? Absolutely tore me to bits. I hadn't thought about that in a while. Pretty funny. It was like it was scripted. Like, it was the only piece of advice he gave me before I ran on the field. Don't run at that guy. So what do I fucking do? I pick up the ball and look up, and there is that guy standing there. Fucking, my eyes must have been like dinner plates. Fucking boom. I actually found that super weird as well, and I think it's just because I started it so late. I always used to have a shower when I got home. The first season I played, that season, I think I started about halfway through the season. I ended up playing 6 or 7 games, but I trained with them for most of the year. Had a great time, and the guys were really nice. I talked about it a little while back. They were all like savages and awful when it came to women, and I can understand why rugby league players continually get in trouble. But they were very funny, nice guys a lot of the time. And but there's a rule in rugby league and in other sports, I'm sure, that if you don't score a try in the season, you have to do a nudie run. And I thought maybe I'd be exempt from the nudie run because, I'd only played 5 or 6 games in the season. But no, I was not exempt from the nudie run. And in fact, I was the only person who was required to do the nudie run that year. One other guy was supposed to do it, but he chickened out. So yeah, I did a nudie run that year. No, I never played Gaelic football, mate. I grew up playing touch football and rugby league. Watching rugby league, sorry. Never played it until, as I said, I was 25, 26. But yeah, touch football, fucking jet. Yeah, they do some dumb shit sometimes. I don't know why. Because most of them were really nice fellas. Fuck, they do some dumb shit. Anyway. That was a weird diversion into Big Deno's history there. Oh, Late Night Painter. G'day, mate. Thank you for raiding. What is my tabletop game of choice, Markrom? That changes from day to day, mate. And week to week. If I had to pick one right now, the game I'm most excited about playing at the moment is a game called Maracaibo. It's a rondel style point salad Euro game where you play a pirate / merchant / buccaneer guy in the Caribbean, and you have multiple avenues of pursuing your victory points collection. It's made by a dude called Alexander Pfister. Awesome game, incredible game. But I've played a lot of games. I think Mage Knight stands out to me as one of the best board games that I've played. Just for how much I wanted to keep playing it. I couldn't stop playing it. I just obsessed about it for probably about 2 months. And at the moment, Spirit Island is holding my attention quite a lot. So on my Twitter page, I occasionally talk about board games as well as toy soldier painting, and the end of every year I do a little top 5 games of the year. And last year's game, number 1, was Mage Knight. It's quite an old game now, actually. It was made I feel like it was like 2010. It's made by a dude called Vlaada Chvátil, who incidentally is also the guy who made Through the Ages. And yeah, it's a game where you are exploring a land. It's kind of like a dungeon crawler character leveler that you play by yourself and you can play in a short time. It's just awesome. Yeah, well, if you go and have a look on Board Game Geek, there's a group called the One Player Guild, and every year they do a vote for their top solo games of the year. And for like the last 5 years, Mage Knight was number 1. It actually finally got dethroned last year by Spirit Island. Mage Knight was number 2. But it's a really brilliant game. Cujo and I talk about it on here. It's fucking great. But you want to get the Ultimate Edition if you can. It's been out of print for a little while, but yeah, the Ultimate Edition's where it's at. Fuck, it's an awesome game. Go and watch some playthroughs. There's a playthrough on YouTube by a guy called Ricky Royal. He does a playthrough of the game, explains how to play, shows you what it's like. It's like a deck building thing. It's awesome. Yeah, it can be confusing. I know it took me a while to like really get a handle on how everything worked, but once you get it, it's awesome. So when I'm painting stuff that isn't display stuff, I try to focus on high contrast and in specific areas, like the areas that are most visually interesting. You don't need to paint everything when it comes to models like this, and in fact, when you do, you lessen the impact of the model. So I'm just going to try and do high value, high contrast areas in a certain number of areas, and then the rest of the stuff we'll just leave pretty boring. But because of the high value other areas, I do, yeah, Kung Fu I do. You haven't really seen it much on these guys yet, because I haven't got to that stage. I'm just blocking in colours, but you can yeah, do the exact same thing. I don't do as much airbrushing when I'm doing guys this scale though. As we discussed in the Kingdom Death group today. Sorry, I thought that was Topulus. It's you, Kung Fu. It wasn't you discussing it in the Kingdom Death group with me today. That was Topulus. It's in the Discord. So, I love using fluoro colours. They just go off. They go off on gaming models. They look so good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use this colour. Fluoro Magenta Vallejo model colour. You need to give it a fucking rock solid shake. And I actually use airbrush thinner to thin it down. I don't, it's just, for whatever reason, I feel like when I use the airbrush thinner, I get a thinner, better consistency than I do when I use the other thing, Joe Sonya's. And we're going to do, I didn't use any agitators there, mate, just use my Jack and Sledge, the Hammer Brothers. In case that wasn't clear, Jack and Sledge are actually the guns. The Hammer Brothers. Oh yeah. I haven't found it to be too small, no. But my eyesight's pretty good. I don't even need to read the cards anymore. I know exactly what every card in that game does. Feel free to ask me about whatever card you want. I'll tell you what it does. It's fucking awesome. So the key with fluorescent colours, to get them to look vibrant, to get them to look like they're actually fluorescent and working, is you have to do a couple of coats, because the pigment's not like a traditional pigment, doesn't work the same way. So you have to do several coats, got to let it dry in between coats, and you have to do it over a white undercoat. So the way that I've made this fluorescent magenta work is I highlight it up to a white using a purple as my base tone, and now I'm just going to do a couple of coats of the fluorescent magenta. Call it a day. And that'll also smooth out the roughness of my highlighting, which is great. All I do is win, win, win every day, day, day. I've decided I don't like this model. What a shitty model. Old Games Workshop models suck. This guy sucks. How are we going? We're about an hour into the stream. Just over 2 hours ago, just under 2 hours ago to finish these fuckers. Come on, Deno. Lift your fucking game, mate. Move that brush, motherfucker. Come on, Celery. Ask me a question about Through the Ages, mate. Come on. Fucking got that game on lockdown. So I'm going to be doing 3 streams of these guys. Six models on each stream is the plan. These are the rotters, or whatever the fuck they're called. These are the first ones. And then we've got some cool big boys to do in the next ones. Indeed. But what is cool is that, generally speaking, all of the historical people have abilities that are related to what they are famous for. For example, Isaac Newton provides a benefit to labs and libraries because he's a science dude. It's the best fucking game! Yep, all 3 streams will be Nurgle. This is the rest of the dudes, so these big fatty boombas, I think they're the, I don't know what they're called. They're fuck. Look at that dude. I can't wait to paint that guy. And then in the last stream we're going to do this big chubba lobs and some little beastmen and whatever these things are. These are like reroll markers or something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played Blood Bowl. 3 streams, 9 hours. Boom, boom. That's the plan. Sarantis, welcome, thank you. Feast for Odin, mate. It's called a Feast for Odin. It is by UA Rosenberg, and we even had a dude mention it in the chat before and I forgot to respond to them. I'm yet to play it. I would like to. Does seem like a game that will be up my alley. Oh, Ohio, Sarantis, I am living the dream, mate. Living the dream. It's a beautiful day today. Quacks, yes, we never bought that. It's one of the only games we haven't bought that was quite highly regarded last year. Yes, indeed, Sarantis, these are Blood Bowl, Nurgle Blood Bowl dudes. Just a cheeky little commission. Ah, thanks. Yes, it's right here actually. See a celery? Yeah, please do, mate. Whee. It is. It's a magenta fluoro. You better keep me updated, celery. I'm very interested to know if you love it as much as I do. It is a pretty awesome model, yes. I enjoyed painting that. See a celery, if I didn't already say that, maybe I did. Getting forgetful in my old age. What do I fucking want you to be green? I don't want any green on you. Fuck off. What do you want? You can have this little bit in green. So I actually wrote an article on what I'm doing now in the Illustrated Fantasy Artist, a web magazine done by dudes from Figure Mentors. Yeah, I wrote an article about painting Nurgle models, and what I'm doing right now is what the topic of the article is about, which is basically the over contrast and then glaze back down technique to provide lots and lots and lots of contrast. Excessive amounts, really. When you're painting board game models, it looks good. Yeah, these guys should be finished tonight, mate. That's the plan, anyway. See how we go. Yeah. Don't do a lot of dry brushing. I might do a little bit on the base, but it'll be more wet brushing really than dry brushing. I want to get a lot of white paint on there. Oh, thanks Housefly Hawk for being a follower. The followers on this group, they call themselves the Denizens. Because I forced them to. Because I coined the name. So you are now a Denizen. Welcome to the group. You know I know how. The club can't even handle me right now. Yeah, look, speed painting is a term that gets thrown around a lot, and I reckon I could outpaint just about any one of those people when it comes to speed. And the problem with that technique, as you've described, is they all have that very desaturated, similar toned look, and that's because you don't have enough contrast. It's as simple as that. You just need contrast. And the airbrush does not give you contrast. It does the opposite of that. It homogenises everything and provides a paler version of colours. So I am all about that contrast life, as you'll soon see. The reason it looks naff is actually the same reasons that display models... Yeah, Marco Frazzoni's great. Display models look better than those sorts of models is because they follow the rules. They have contrast, they have interesting colour choices. You can do that on tabletop painting, you just don't see people doing it very often because I don't think that they as frequently understand all of those attributes and understand actually what the airbrush is doing. I don't want to generalise too much because, as I said before, there's a lot of awesome painters on YouTube, such as myself. I probably lean too far the other way, friends. I probably go too much colour and too much contrast. So we've all got our crosses to bear. Hello guys, Marco here. Alright, guess what we're bringing to the table now? I'll give you 3 guesses. Starts with fluorescent. Ends with yellow, motherfuckers. Boo. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Shit, I'm running out of space on my palette. Yeah, it's a tricky balancing act, Paul. I think I've talked about my article probably excessive amounts, but I'm just going to touch on it very, very briefly. I wrote an article on Meg Maple's site's called Arcane Paintworks. You can Google it. It's called The Psychology of Miniature Painting. And all it is me just talking about how to get better at miniature painting. And one of the really key topics is it's called sacrifice and understanding goals. And I think it's the hardest part to recognise, right? Anyone could paint the way I paint, anyone could paint the way Angel Godaldes paints. And the reason that we don't is because we don't sacrifice enough of our time or our energy, and that's not one of our goals. And I think what you're talking about there, Paul, is a prime example of what is your goal? Is it to be a better painter, or is it to be a faster painter, or is it to be a guy who gets his armies done? And I think the moment you know what your goal is, what you're trying to achieve out of your painting, it's much easier to set yourself some expectations about what you're trying to achieve. And if you don't do that, fuck this guy sucks. You suck, idiot. You can get yourself disappointed with not being as quick as you want to be, or not being as good as you want to be, or not having your army finished in time. Yeah, it's just about setting yourself goals and knowing what you're trying to achieve. Cool, so that's your goal. So yeah, don't get down on yourself because you're painting slower. No, I don't know if you were, by the way, just talking broadly. Yeah, know your goals, know what you're trying to achieve. You'll be sweet. Love a fluoro colour, friends. Whew. Ooh, doggy. Alright. That's a good goal, Sharkworld. Something to work towards. Gives you a gauge on how you're performing versus other people. But more importantly, gives you a gauge for how to perform against yourself in future. Love competitions. I think they're great fun. What fucker in colour when I do these fucking horns? Fucking horns. Just in case anyone's interested, friends, my goal is to enjoy painting and to paint what I feel like when I feel like it and have fun. I want to improve, I want to get better, but not at the expense of my enjoyment. I really enjoyed Miniac's sort of retrospective, because to me that showed a dude who had a goal and was willing to sacrifice things to try and achieve that goal. Now, one of my favourite quotes, "G'day, ours Groomy," and I've said it on the stream and I'll probably say it many times, is Winston Churchill: "Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." Miniac can keep failing over and over. As long as his enthusiasm and enjoyment is diminished, he is succeeding. Haha, my yellow Crix army. Wow, I haven't thought about them for a while. Let me think. I mean, if you trawl back far enough on my Instagram, there'd probably be some photos of them. I definitely did. Actually, tell you what, I'll bring up a photo because I reckon I can find my Denny 3 model that I painted in the scheme that I did for my Crix army. So. See how I'm going to paint these bases too, mate. Contrast. Oh yeah. It's going to be legit. Alright, as soon as I finish this colour, I'll go find my Denny models. My Denny model. I think that's why the mindset of it's about the journey and the experience of painting, not the results, that's satisfying. And even if you don't win something at an award ceremony, and believe me, I've been there, it can go two ways with that. You can be inspired and want to continue to improve and get better, or you can have a big old cry and blame the judges for being dickheads. And I think, yeah, it's just about enjoying it. Alright, let's see if we can find a Denegra 3. Oh. Privateer Press actually retweeted it. I remember. Why is my keyboard fucking up? Oh, yes. Found it. Oh, here's fun. Here is a post of me painting one of my Crix models many years ago now. I wonder when this article came out. Wow, my photography is very bad. There you go. There's one of my Crix models from back in the day. Long time ago. 2015. Beautiful. She was actually at the tail end of when I was playing War Machine. She basically released, and then I sort of moved into Guild Ball around that time. I took her to the War Machine Masters Super Series in Brisbane, final year. Hadn't played in about 3 months. Nearly won it actually. I was on fire that day. On fire! There you go. Bit of fun. Man, I've painted some fucking models, I tell you what. You forget how many models you painted, I reckon. Because I painted armies and all sorts of shit. Yeah, it was yellow and purple, the whole Crix army. With cream colours. Looked awesome. It was a mad army. Did anyone not see the finished Wind Rider? Does people want me to show Wind Rider again, or has everyone in the chat already seen it? Falcon and the Winter Soldier got a confirmed release date, friends. March 19th it comes out on Disney Plus. Get amongst it. Trailer looks good actually. I'm excited. WandaVision's getting good. Billy Goat. Dano's excited. Yeah, awesome. Looks mad. Alright, guess what we're going to do now? Some more of the exact same shit as before. But we're going to do it with orange this time. This is the best. Look at all these mad skills we're repeating over and over. Dino. Yeah, that's okay, mate. Everyone's called me Dino. They can call me whatever they want, mate. As long as they remember me. Fucking beautiful. I don't know how they get it wrong though. good call. Good call, Poe. Edgar Allan. Didn't you guys ever see the Nurgle army I painted? I'll throw some pictures up of that soon. The physically largest model I painted. I will grab you a picture. It's a model from a American manufacturer called Industria Mechanica, and I entered it in Queensland Model Hobby Expo. Because they had a large scale category. I thought it would be cool to try painting a large scale model. And so I did. The model's name is Zangrahil. And it was based off some artwork by a dude called Ignacio Pencracker. And there she is. You can't really get a sense of the scale from that, but she is a bit bigger than a water bottle. I think I had a scale photo, like a... I do. She is bigger than a water bottle. Here is the scale shot. Hey Jen. So that's a 28mm model from Arcade Quest called Jack Jack. 75mm Orc, Albrook. 1:12 bust from FER Miniatures, which is actually quite a big bust. A Mount Franklin water bottle and her. Yeah, very big model. She was fun to paint though. I enjoyed her. I dropped her actually, like just as I finished her, I dropped her on the ground. That was great. She broke into like 4 pieces. I had to spend 20 minutes re-gluing her, fixing some chips. Just fucking heavy. Yeah, Jack Jack, how good. I painted him too. I painted him twice actually. Had a commission for a display version of Jack Jack, and then I also had a game version that I painted. have a look in a moment. Sharkwold. Just looking at the time and noticing we've only got an hour left to finish these chaps. So we've got to get cracking. I find it nice to break up painting display models with some tabletop every now and then. Just not worrying about perfection and just getting to do really quick, high contrast, fun paint jobs. It's nice to just mix things up. Oh, you're painting the Lion Knight. Awesome. I like that model. Well, are you playing the Lion Knight? I did not like his fight that much. It sucked. Oh, thanks Housefly Hawk. Have a great day, mate. Thank you for watching the stream. Hope you enjoyed. I have no idea what model you're talking about, buddy. I'm thinking of the expansion monster from Kingdom Death. G'day, Badger. Badger, 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 mushroom. It's going well. I'm going to show off Wind Rider because I know you didn't see it, because I know you just got here. Same with Jan. So let me just finish this real quick bit of jobbo that I'm doing right now, and then I'll grab Wind Rider for everyone to gape at awe and amazement. Man, this dude sucks, by the way. Whatever model this fucking dude is supposed to represent, he sucks. He can get absolutely fucked, that guy. Alright. Wind Rider. Cool, that guy's fucking awesome. Actually, I think I saw your pictures of the cloak that you painted a while back. Anyway, here is the Wind Rider Friends that I finished on last night's stream, or almost finished on last night's stream. I did a few little tweaks. This afternoon, glued him together. Wind Rider. Yeah, pretty chuffed with it actually. Like how it came out. Thanks, mate. I'm starting to get a hang of painting on stream now. At the start I wasn't hamstrung, but I felt uncomfortable, wasn't quite in my zone, but I felt like I've gotten more comfortable now. And yeah, I think Wind Rider's a step up from the other the other 3 models I've painted on stream. Been streaming for less than a month, friends. I've finished 4 models. Pretty cool. It is indeed Badger. It is indeed the Nurgle team. The boys. How good's contrast paint for bases, I tell you what. It's almost like it was made for it. I only started collecting Kingdom Death in the middle of last year, Jan, and fuck that's a rabbit hole, eh? The amount of shit that you can buy for that game, and the weirdest thing is like, you just don't need any of it. Like, you really don't need any of that shit, but I want it. I fucking want it all. Yeah, look, mate, can't help it. Can't help it if that's how I roll. Just how my technique goes, mate. Looks good. I quite like the new Echoes of Death models, like that D&D mixed with Kingdom Death vibe. I quite like those, but yeah, I like a lot of the older stuff more. Alright. Yeah, me too, man. I ordered on Black Friday. Echoes of Death 3 and the 10th Anniversary Survivors still haven't got here. But that's okay. They'll arrive when they arrive. I've got plenty of models to paint. Zoom back in, friendos. Alright, so we're now at the stage where we're going to, not quite, almost at the stage where we're going to go model by model and finish them off, but we're not quite there yet. There's a few things I've got to do. Got to do me rust. Rusty boys. How are we going for time? 50 minutes to go, friends. Can we get it done? Are we going to achieve greatness, or are we going to fall by the wayside, forgotten and alone? We shall strive for greatness. Yeah, look at this weird stuff. My chestnut ink started doing some super weird shit. Look at this. That's just straight out of the container. Bizarre. Bizarre world. Let's try a different way. 50 minutes. Let's do this, friends. Let's fucking get it done. I'm disappointed about this chestnut ink situation. It's a fresh container. It's a fresh container. Very disappointing. It'll pass as rust though. Yeah, it is indeed scale 75 ink intensity. Ink tense chestnut. I think it might have just gone off because it was perfect for a long time. I hear you, champion. Me too. I'm not quite finished with the bases. I'm going to do some more contrast. I'm going to use a darker green. I just thought I'd start with a light green and then do some darker patches. See how that looked. Yeah, I feel like if you can't go old school with Blood Bowl bases, what's the point of even painting? I hadn't planned on it at this stage. I mean, I probably should, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll put that on the finishing touches of the whole team thing I can do at the end and not count that on tonight's stream. Boom, done, motherfucker. No, I actually use Warp Lightning for the grass for the moment. I'm going to do some Creed camo over the top of that, I think. So I'm going to do some static grass over the top of the contrast grass stuff. It's pretty easy to do. But I'll have to check those out. For those people who paint armies more frequently than me, that'd be pretty cool, I reckon. The key for me with painting stuff like this is you've got to recognise where it's going to be looked at. It's going to be looked at from a distance away, and so you don't need super smooth blends. What you need is things that make the model pop off the table when you are looking at it, and so I always err on the side of more contrast at the expense of smoother blends, because I think that's what looks cooler on the table. I get paid monthly. My payday is Friday this week. I'm counting down the days. We could be on to eating noodles very soon for dinner. Two-minute noodles. What's the clock? Oh, g'day, Altered Man Art. Thank you, mate. David Colwell. That guy makes it into everyone's top 10. He makes it into my top 10 dickheads list. Fucking Colwell. Good for you, mate. Hope you're enjoying it. That's why I do it, for funsies. Now you guys know I'm only Josh and I love Colwell. He's the man. Love his works. I noticed Big Deno is not in that list. That's disappointing. Something we shall have to remedy. No, probably not. The problem with Colwell, right, is he's so nice. You can't even hate him because he's really nice. So you're like, man, you got so much skill oozing out of every pore in your body. I just want to hate you, but I can't because you're so nice as well. Ah, Celery. Have you downloaded that app yet, champion? The answer's no. What the fuck are you doing? This is good quality through the ages game playing time you're wasting. Oh, it's the clock out 9:30. We're looking good, friends. We're looking good. Badger, 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 mushroom. Woo. Oh, Van Kokie's on. Mate, it is always a good time for some Through the Ages, you fucking legend. This is the guy I've been playing Through the Ages with for the last fucking 3 years. How many regular games are you out now, Kokie, you fucking mad dog? How many you played now? You fucking legend. What about you just getting on Deno's stream? Well, this'll be 6 models finished in this little stream. We've got a little bit of time up our sleeve to do some little tweaks and make them better. Hopefully, anyway. Kokie, I swear, mate, I've been talking about Through the Ages of this whole fucking stream. Hello guys, DJ Parson here. Get DJ Parson on the stream, seriously. Someone call him up. The fans want more DJ. No, Malena. You guys know me, I love Pierre. Maybe go for early Dwama. Could be nice. love it. Koki and I are referring to a YouTube channel we watch, which is live playthroughs of Through the Ages, and a dude commentates as he's playing. It's the fucking best. Oh, it's the fucking best. Thanks, champion. Hey, what do you reckon for tomorrow night, Maracaibo? 4-player Maracaibo? Let's get it done. Maracaibo. Well, that's some dog shit inking. Ah, awesome. What'd you get, Kung Fu? Super Fantasy Brawl. Never heard of it. I'm sure it will be awesome though. So we haven't had any real, like we bought heaps of games, we haven't had any real genuine misses of a game outside of one or two. The main one that comes to mind was Pendulum by Stonemaier Games. Everyone hated that shit. Ah, thank you, Apollo. Yeah, Charter Stone wasn't a real miss for us, Coke, until the end. I mean, if we had stopped halfway through, it would have probably got pretty good marks from us. Not a glowing endorsement, I know, but At least we were super jazzed to play it for the first few months, first few sessions. Oh, Dr. Flink, g'day mate. You amazing guy, you. Tonight we are painting some Nurgle dudes from a Blood Bowl team, and we're on the clock. We got 21 minutes to go to finish these 6 dudes. We're looking reasonably on track at the moment. Look, all I'm going to say is size doesn't matter, Kung Fu. My girlfriend tells me all the time. Which I'm eternally grateful for. Yeah, the new Blood Bowl looks really awesome. One of the guys in our gaming group bought all the new books and stuff. Had to flick through it. Looks cool. I never got into it as much as the other guys. The most I really played of it was on the computer game version. Yeah, it's a fun little game. Fun little game for what it is. I mean, it's absolutely textbook Games Workshop. It's just, it'll frustrate the absolute fuck out of you, because every now and then you'll just do something that should work and it fails and you'll lose a game. And that is just Games Workshop's approach to designing games is, those are moments, they create moments of excitement. I don't find it exciting when my fucking idiot fumbles the ball and causes a turnover and another team fucking scores. Games Workshop, fuck you. We leave this little dickhead till last. This guy sucks. So here's the thing, Sharkworld. they are a fantastic entry point for people into the world of miniature gaming, and in many ways they're the only entry point because they're the most visible. And they do a few things remarkably well. They have a really cool universe and mythology, like genuinely good. They have some really good writers, and some really evocative stuff. They do the best miniatures, I think, bar none, in that scale anyway. And they make games that are accessible. So they're not always completely balanced, and in many ways they probably balance their games as an avenue to selling more models. But they can be really fun to play. Some of their recent games have been sort of striking a nice balance between the cinematic moments, but also having some really good quality gaming stuff in there. That was the thing that killed AOS for me, Dr. Flink. I never actually lost a game because of it, but it just, every time it happened, I felt like, well, this is just silly. And when my background is War Machine and Guild Ball games that are very controllable, it was a bit frustrating. The new Necromunda though, Koki and I have been absolutely frothing over that. It's got some really cool mechanics, and yeah, so if you want to get into miniature gaming, go pick yourself up a Shadespire or one of those entry-level Games Workshop games and give it a crack. They're good fun. A couple of models, paint some models, and find out if you like them. They're okay. That's right. It's just too arbitrary, and that, yeah. I mean, I'm sure we've all had times where we've heard stories of our mates who've lost a game that realistically you should never lose if it was a skill-based game, and you roll a dice. Roll a dice. There wasn't many games of War Machine I ever lost because of a dice roll, if any, actually. This guy sucks and I hate him. I hate him. He really sucks. Yeah, they started to get just way too complex. I reckon maybe 5 to 10 years ago, just obscenely overcomplicated. And I sort of wondered what their reason for that was. I don't know if that was an aesthetic decision that they wanted to really differentiate themselves, or maybe it was like a flex, like, look what we can do with our plastic sculpts that you guys can't fucking do. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I reckon it's not made their models worse, but they're certainly not as good. Some of the earlier GW models, I think, shit all over the newer busy ones. But yeah. Alright, this guy's the worst of them, friends, and that's for a very clear reason, because he's the shittiest model. But everything else appears to be going okay. Well, again, many aspiring painters and so forth got their start with Games Workshop models and with Games Workshop models for painting. Many of the best painters I know started at events like Golden Demon, Games Workshop's version of painting competition. So Yeah, I mean, they're accessible for everyone. That's the thing that makes them as good as they are. Anyone can feel like they can be a part of the hobby. I've got really cool like entry level boxes you can buy, kits you can buy that make getting into the game feel more manageable, and they slowly suck you in. But I played Warhammer for I worked for Games Workshop many years ago. I played Warhammer from like the year 2000 and all the way through to 2009. No, sorry, to 2012. I played it through to. We had a blast. I met all my friends like Koki. I met through Warhammer. We ended up playing touch footy together and just being best mates through Warhammer. Yeah. $9.48. Let's have a look in a moment where we're at. The glory days, indeed, Koki. All right. Little dudes. 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 Yeah, there'll be static grass. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the lines. Don't love it. I get the appeal, but don't love it. What I do love though is fucking airbrushing. We're gonna fucking airbrush some green on these bad boys. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go get one of those army painted dips. Do some army painted dipping. What do we think about that? Bit of boa de dipinar. Bit of dipinar. I've never done an airbrush only challenge, no. Wouldn't mind it. I think I'd probably go okay at an airbrush challenge. That paint was too dilute, friends, so that did not work the way that I wanted it to. Let's go a bit of this one. Bit of Devlin mud. Brown with a wash. It's a good question, Mr. Badger SWE, and I probably should take it more seriously than I do. However, I have a fan directly here that is pointing that way, forcing all of the fluid that may get into my lungs off to the side. Why does it have to be mid-year, Paul? Why can't we do it now? That's very harsh, Celery. I think I'm going to have to remove your VIP badge for that comment. I'm in. Let's do it, Paul. Let's do it. Yeah, I think I probably should wear a mask, a respirator. But I'm in a pretty large space, good ventilation, the fan's pushing shit away. I don't know. I'm gonna be dead soon. From life. I have to pick the model. Well, I'm going to pick one I've already got, mate. Fuck, how easy is that? Shit. I nominate the witches. if you're referring to the big project being the Knights of Camelot, still haven't had the models arrive, so I can't start it till the models turn up, I'm afraid. And I'm still waiting on, I've ordered some models at the start of January, which was for my Dritz diorama. So I'm still waiting on 3 of those, although I did have the Panther turn up today. Yeah, COVID's fucked everything, so that's fine. I've got plenty of models to paint until then. I'm gonna do, yeah, can't wait, it's gonna be mad. I'll show you Gwen, I'll show you the Panther. Turned up today. Mate of mine down in Melbourne. Got a 3D printer. Printed it out for me. I purchased the model from what's her name's thing, JP Studios. So here it is. Gwen with y'all. One thing I've always found interesting about 3D printing and resins in general, you often look at them and go, wow, that detail is not very crisp. But it's so often it's because the material's translucent that you don't get a sense of how crisp it is. And all you got to do is actually do an undercoat, and you'll see all the detail really sharpen up. So here he is alongside the Drizzt model. So I think I'm going to have him behind, maybe stalking around behind like that. Don't know yet. I've got 6, 7 models I've got to put on the diorama, because I've got Bruenor, Caddy Bree, Drizzt, Regus, Gwen Wiviar, Wolfgar. What's that? 6 models. So it's going to be on one of my big plinths like I did for Oz. We just got to have a little think about the layout. And I've got to decide, oh thanks, or 1987 Kachik. I've got to decide if it's going to be set in Icewind Dale, like the diorama, and so have a lot of snow and cold colours, or if I'm going to have it set in like Streams of Silver type era where they're travelling. So, Tobes, how are you, champion? Just painting some Nurgle dudes, some Blood Bowl boyos tonight. There we go, 10 o'clock on the dot. How you like those apples? 6 dudes down, 12 to go, so we'll do the next 6 on stream on Wednesday night. We'll call that a day, I reckon. Fun little commission. These are cool dudes. I know what I can achieve generally, Rumble. Know what I can achieve. I'll show you a picture of the Nurgle army I painted. Thanks, Billy Goat. It's on my Facebooks. Fuck you, keyboard. Wake up. This keyboard sucks. Whilst you're all waiting, here's Wind Rider that I finished. Fuck, when did I do these guys? It was a long time ago, evidently. I'm scrolling back through my fucking Facebook page. This is the dumbest way to do this, but my keyboard's not working, so... that's right, I did an Illidan Storm Rage. Forgot about that. Cool. Cool guy. Oh, fuck, some good projects on my Facebook. Forgot about those. Bangers. Oh, I'm gonna show that one in a second. That's a good... This is what my planning looks like. I'm gonna show you in a moment, friends. It's very impressive. Very impressive stuff. Oh, Monty. Fuck, I'm tagging like a million things at Monty. This is a very boring way to end the stream, friends. I'm sorry about that, but I have to do it now. I've committed. I'm already deep looking for my fucking Nurgle army I painted. So deep. Alright, I think we're here. Yes. Yes. Alright. When I was a young warthog. So this is the Nurgle army I painted. I painted a lot more than that in 7 weeks. I did 60 Marauders, and I did 10 Chaos Warriors, and I did 10 Chaos Knights, and I did a War Shrine and shit as well. Yeah. So I painted a shit ton of models for the Nurgle army. Yeah. So that's where the colour scheme of these guys came from, the inspiration anyway. But check this out. This is really elaborate planning, showcasing how much I plan my projects. This is what I prepared for the Elements diorama. Look at that. Look at that quality of execution there. That's a rock solid plan right there. Boy, but no shit, man. Seriously, how fucking close does it look to the finished piece? Let's just go and get that finished piece up and just compare it. It's fucking banging exactly the same. You can barely tell the difference. It's like identical. Come on, load up. Alright. I could be an artist, hey. That's what I turned it into. That goes alright. That goes alright. Pretty happy with that. But to close off the stream tonight, I'm going to show you one of my favourite... Oh, come on, work your stupid keyboard. I'm going to show you one of my favourite pictures of the internet, and there's a lot of them, but this is up there as probably my favourite. I feel like this encapsulates me very much so. It is my passion. To be fair, they are very similar from start to finish. The thing, and even though, because that was on my computer, and I cut out those pictures from the box covers, and then I was like moving them around, trying to see if I could get all 4 of them in a position where they would be looking in the right direction, and where they would have those heights and stuff. And then I sort of, as I was was a shit drawing, right? But I knew what I was thinking about as I was drawing it, so yeah. Alright. I had a fun thought. How about I show off all the models I've painted on stream? Since, hang on, I'll do it at my month anniversary of streaming. I'll show off all the models I've painted on stream. So we've still got another. We've still got another week and a day. So in a week and a day, I will share all of the models I've painted on stream and see if we can embarrass the fuck out of Flickster. Thank you all, friends. We're gonna raid some motherfucker right now. Raid! Let's see if we can find someone cool. Let's go have a look. Who can we raid? Who can we raid? Oh, Phoenix is on. I've raided Phoenix already, but yeah, let's go. Let's have a raid on Phoenix. Let's raid Phoenix. I like Phoenix. He's a nice guy. Here we go, friends. Thank you. Appreciate all of you legends. You're the best. Flickster.